Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dungeon Talks, where we talk the authentic, unfiltered reality of the happenings in sports and fitness industry. Today, I'm speaking with none other than Mr. Gregory Seales, the owner of Athlete's House and Movement Mechanics. He was two master's degrees, one in performance coaching, the other in kinesiology, sorry, and is currently pursuing one in sports science, more specifically with return to play and
sport injuries and return to performance management.
Lovely. Yeah. He's also the former strength and conditioning coach for Cricket West Indies. So definitely somebody with a wealth of experience, both practically as well as academically. So sports science, right? Sports science has become this new thing, but people don't know what it is. It's an emerging field, right?
In Trinidad.
In Trinidad, and we're going to get into that for sure.
Wider Caribbean, yeah.
But I guess to put it simply, in your opinion, what is sports science?
So sports science is an umbrella term which will include like the strength and conditioning coach, the nutritionist, the sports psychologist, the sports physician, and many other professions under the umbrella that tailor the sports science itself to making the athlete a better athlete and to perform at the highest level.
Yeah. So you touched on something inadvertently that we probably didn't know, but you said it is an emerging field in Trinidad, right? Now, as somebody with your the level of experience and you've been in the game for quite some time, what is the current state of sports science from where you see it locally?
To be brutally honest, it's not where it should be. And I mean, I'll say that with, I mean, you have, UE and UTT having, now they have these programs to develop that sports science years, which is really, really good. The thing we don't have here, I think what we're struggling with is the high performance environments for these same young people coming out of these academic institutions to be in on a regular basis.
And when you say high performance facilities, because everybody accustomed with just a gym, right? Yeah. There's some weights and whatever. But what are the key pieces you think is missing on a national level that we need to take at to the next level?
I'm gonna go back to the environments again, and obviously having qualified, experienced people in the field in these particular environments. So when we talk about high performance environments, it's not equipment, it's not technology, it's the brain that powers the technology and everything around it, right? And where we fallen short is the lack of quality human resource.
Do you think there is any pipeline to fix that? Do you think we even know, like the powers that we know that we're lacking that?
I don't know if they do know, or the other question is do they care? So there's the other question to ask as well, because, and I think from an administrative standpoint, there is a lot of ignorance around what sports science is or what strength and conditioning is, and the role the nutritionist plays, the role the psychologist plays. It's just a matter of, go out there, run them hard, get them tired, or find somebody who could just, get them
rose. Yeah, once they're sweating and they're working and they can't walk or whatever after, good job.
Yeah.
That's
And then if you come back to the point of sports science, now sports science is supposed to inform how we treat with an athlete and how is this athlete fatigued today, or could he go hard today, or he has to back off today. And we have to take the athlete into consideration when we planning all your sessions and all these things. And things could happen. And this is where it has to be. I mean, we hear this all the time, right? Athlete centered. But is it really athlete centered? That's the burning question. So when you have high performance environments with high quality people, and then young people come in. When I say young people, young budding athletes. So you have your developing athletes, but then you also have your your senior athletes, senior national athletes, who are actually thirsting for environments like this.
Yeah.
Right? Because they want to succeed. They have the mindset to succeed. But then it's a downer when it comes to what they have to be faced with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that's part of the reason why? I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of talented athletes, but they're lacking the tools, as you said, in terms of human resources as well as the physical tools. Do you think that plays into a reason why we aren't as successful as other countries, or do you think maybe the athletes' discipline or their approach to the game is part of it?
I think it's fair enough to say it's you know you can go either way. The young people they say 6 or 7, I say 6. But it can go either way. I mean, and again, not everybody is cut out to be a high performance athlete. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of dedication, of time and effort, physical effort, mental effort, to actually um, you know get to that high level and stay. Right? We have a lot of athletes who get to a level but cannot stay there. Right? Because of their natural talents, it will get them there. And in order to stay there, obviously, you have to have consistency. You have to have funding.
Yeah.
Money is gonna is critical
Yes.
in this
In this endeavor,
environment,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And if you don't have those things, you have the support of your parents, and that's it is a young
There's younger
person.
people, yeah.
If you're a senior athlete, if you have other support staff, people around you to help you to achieve these goals, it's gonna be difficult. Absolutely difficult.
More on the practical side when it comes to lifting, with the 3 by 10, 3 sets of 10 reps has become very famous for everything,
Yeah.
right? When it specifically when it comes to training for strength, training for speed, and hypertrophy, what practical takeaways would you advise for the young athletes who may not have access to facilities like this?
Well, um, sometimes, I mean, I started off. I'll just go start there, right? I started off. Obviously, I have now it's about close to 7,000 square feet of space, right?
Brilliant space, beautiful space. Yeah.
But I started off in a 10 by 10 room, all right, as a personal trainer, right? That's why I started, and the room just got bigger over time. But it's a dedication towards your craft, right? And then you go back to the 3 by 10 concept and applying that one thing to everything, right? This is where the education comes in, right? And the more education you have, and the more you drive yourself to learn more, then you understand that 3 by 10 is good for this, but 3 by 6 is good for this.
Yes.
And 3 by 2 is good for this, right? So
Mhm.
now it all becomes a decision making process where you're gonna say, you know what, we can work on hypertrophy. Let's say, let me give a practical example,
please.
right? So you have a footballer, right? He may do 3 by 10 on the upper body, but 3 by 6 on the lower body.
Why?
Right? Because his lower body does not need, and depends on when he's working at, right?
Yes. So give all the context.
Right.
Give all the context.
So in sports science to audience,
Yeah.
right? Sports science to is it comes down to it depends,
Yes.
right? You always hear that it depends.
Yes.
So let's make a scenario here, right?
All right. So here's what. Let me make this scenario, and
Create
then
the
you and
scenario.
you right. So you have a footballer, right? He is 2 months preseason.
2 months preseason.
He is trying to prepare, and his season is going to, let's say he's going for 3 months, right? Generally, how should he prepare preseason? And then we'll take
How
it.
old are athlete is?
The athlete is 25 years old. He's been competing at his level for 5 years.
Right. So he's a professional.
Professional, yes.
All right. So more than likely, hypertrophy is not an issue for him. Right. More than likely. So strength in the off season will be a priority, but also in the off season, plyometrics is going to be a priority. Speed is going to be a priority, and many times you'll see athletes going back into a preseason without doing speed and getting hurt.
Yes.
Right? So when coming back to the same 3x10, we may do in the off season, we may do a 3x6, 3x4 to 6 of a Bulgarian.
Okay.
Right? But in the end, at the end, for muscle conditioning, we may do 3x10 lunges.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Obviously with a lighter load.
Yes.
For more muscle endurance, more muscle conditioning. But as we get closer to that period of time, we obviously maintain strength. But we could still do that same 3x10 repetition range on the upper body because the footballer is using his legs to kick and run and sprint and all that. So you're going to get stimulus from sprinting. You're going to get stimulus from your lifts, whatever. So you focus on that. That might be once a week. That 3x10, whatever. That might be once a week just to add a little,
Yeah.
But to focus on that throughout an off season, minusing things like plyometrics, ankle stiffness, and those are the time you're gonna work on your mobility and your movement quality as well.
Right. So it'll be still in preseason, right? Go ahead.
All in preseason.
Right.
Well, the off season, not the preseason. Remember, we had 2 months, right?
Right. Yes, we have 2 months. Yeah.
Right. So now you're heading into your preseason.
Right.
That's when you want to get sharper. Right. Start to do more sprint drills, that kind of thing. Nothing huge. So I have an athlete that when he comes here from his season, he probably take a few weeks off, and then he will start. He's working on strength. He's working on plyos. He's working on acceleration, resisted acceleration. On the next day, he will go out and run tempo runs, right? And he will do that twice a week. So we'll do a change in direction action on one of the days. We'll do a linear action on one of the days, and then you're doing that from a conditioning standpoint on 2 other days. So it's 4 days out of the week. You have 3 days for yourself.
Right. Yeah. Now, what should the athlete be doing in those 3 days?
Honestly, you can do a light jog, go to the movies, relax.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just
chill. No, so athletes often here when we have rest days, right? Sometimes they think, well, all right, I'm training today, so I don't need to be on top of nutrition, or at least I don't need to eat as much as when I'm on my training days. What do you have to say about that?
You don't have to eat as much.
Yeah. So it's like
on your right.
So when you're training, let's just say you're eating 3,000 calories a day, and then because you're off tomorrow, whatever, you'll be like, man, I ain't training today, so I'll probably need like 1,500.
Right. So obviously the next day your body has to recover from the work you put in the day before. So you're gonna need enough calories to handle that recovery period as well. Because remember, from that recovery period, you're going into another training session.
Yes.
You know, so and you would typically find that with the female athlete more than the male athlete. The male athlete will eat.
They just eat all the time. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Right? But the female athlete now, because of other pressures, may,
yeah.
Right? That's not all females, but may have those concerns in terms of weight loss and all those things. So
So that's preseason. So now we in season.
Right.
How would you maintain that same footballer's performance? What would you be doing?
Well, if it's a once a week type of schedule, you want to at least get 2 lifts in there. A specific lower body lift, and you also want to have an upper body lift as well. But you must have speed exposure at least 1 to 2 days of the week in before that next game. Obviously, for injury prevention measures, and the injury prevention is really for hamstrings specifically.
And in terms of load when doing the speed exercises, right? What prescription would you what would you prescribe in terms of user percentage?
Like, you mean of percentage of the game itself?
No. So like you have a 1 rep max, right? You're training for speed work, right? You'd use a particular percentage of that 1 rep max for your speed work. What general range would you?
Well, that would be for the lifts or the strength.
Specifically for the lifts.
For your lifts, honestly, how we do it here, we use velocity trackers. So even if I have a load that is prescribed for
The
the
velocity
athlete,
you can't hide. You just
and it's not moving as fast as I want, then I will have to drop the weight.
And so that is so you have these tools at your disposal, right? Could you, I guess, expound on how you apply velocity based training or the trackers into informing decision?
Right. So, like I work with a cyclist, right, a sprint cyclist, and when we are doing our work, I mean, we come down to like very, 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 very specific, right? And I'll just stick this in here. The younger you are, the more general it is.
Yes.
The higher you go, the more specific it gets, right? So when we're doing work, I'm looking for like it was like about 6 weeks out. We're working on speed strength, right? So we're looking at anywhere between 0.80 to 0.85 meters per second moving that load, and over that time we started to see, even though we moving the load that we expected to move, it started to get faster.
Yeah, faster.
So
Yes.
like, geez, man, we need to
increase the load. Yeah.
increase the load now, right? So we got improvements in that, all right? And then coming closer to the competition, now we want to decrease the load. Strength is not the issue because we already
you already have the strength. You already that's very
determined he's strong.
Yep.
Right, but we want now to be explosive. So I looking at now, I think that was 1.1 to 1.20 meters per second. So within that band, we want to see him explode as fast as possible, right? And this, we just tweak the loads to get that out of it. And once we get anything like 10% decline, that was it.
That's it.
We're done. You know. So we got what we need to get, and that was it.
Yeah.
But obviously, that with the sports science coming in there now, that's testing and training at the same time. But we also testing and monitoring as we go along the week. You know.
Yeah. So here at Athlete's House, what tools do you have at your disposal that you probably wouldn't find in a regular gym?
Well, most of it is going to be our assessment tools, and that's what we use to drive the decision-making process, how we determine what you're going to do in your program. And I think that's what sports science should be about, not having the tools, get a report and you hand it to them, and then, well, what's happening after? This drives the process, right?
No, so before you continue, what you just said, is that from what you've seen, is that currently how we do things, where there's a report here and it doesn't actually change any decision, doesn't inform? You can't say.
I can't say. I'm
just
saying what
you
just, should be, right?
Yeah.
I know what we do here, right? But we have we have cameras, 3D cameras that we use for movement assessments. So it's much easier for me to capture the video and the still shots, and it's easier for the clients to see themselves when they're moving. And it's much better for a buy-in too. When you see yourself moving, how you're moving. And when I explain to them why this is happening or why it could be happening, and this is the process we're gonna take. This is what we're gonna do to address it.
Are you using Neuroxin? What brand are you using for?
That's Vold.
Vold. Okay. So you have the Vold suite. You have the perfect. So you have the force plates.
So the force decks we have a force frame that is what you call a fixed frame dynamometer. So we do use that to determine strength across whichever part of the body, down to your big toe and all the way, right? But we typically would test with the overhead athletes like volleyball, swimming, whatever. We test shoulders, internal and external rotators, long lever positions, and then obviously we do things like the jump test to see in that jump where the deficiencies are, where the power deficiencies are, that kind of thing, and work through that. We also have a node board, which we test the hamstrings, eccentric strength of the hamstrings.
Yeah.
Right. So we typically use that with the footballers, that kind of thing.
You're definitely at the cutting edge of.
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah.
yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So I mean, you said you started off with a 10x10, and now you're at what, 7? You said how much square feet?
7,000.
7,000 square feet.
7,000 square feet. Yeah.
how did you, I guess, in terms of the actual the sports science tools like that you just said, the board suite and whatever?
Yeah.
How did you get into to that?
Well,
You're fine.
me take a pause for a sip there. I think there's a message for the people that upcoming as well. You can't just settle for being at one level all the time. So for me, it was about a progression. Right, I'm doing this like nearly 19 years now, right? And obviously, every time you go year by year, you want to get yourself better. People ask me if I'm a professional student. I mean, it's a running joke, but the key to all of this is education.
Yes.
And when you're looking at getting or having that credibility in terms of what you're doing and the trust from athletes, athletes will come from wherever. People, I had athletes from Curacao actually coming here. People from the US will come in, and this is where they come. But it's a credibility thing and it's a word of mouth thing. My social media not really too active.
But it doesn't need to be.
No, I don't need. I don't have time
Yeah,
for that.
it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I mean, I do it.
Yeah.
Put out some stuff and thing. But the key thing is you have to want better for yourself, but you also must want better for the people that you're working with, whether it's the athlete, whether it's the general population, because we have general population people here too. And of course, we do, have sports science. We apply those principles to them as well, right? They are humans, beings,
yeah,
and they're moving well.
Yep.
They have to move well too.
Yep.
But the key thing is we have to, going back to that point, want better for ourselves and the athlete. And in order to do that, it's a continuous learning experience, one after the next, after the next. So there are many times when I will make money from my work, but I will reinvest
into
education, more education, year after year, year after year, year after year. So I'll give you a quick story. When I was I had my personal trainer certification actually, and I got an opportunity to work with the senior men's national team. So I worked with them as well. Back in
sport?
football.
Football. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, football. That's when Russell Atapi was the head coach at that time. I got an opportunity with them. Really, really good opportunity. But I had a personal trainer certification.
Right. Yeah.
And if I'm to work with athletes at that level, having a personal trainer certification is not enough.
Yep.
So while I was with the team, I actually signed up to do my kinesiology masters. Right? I did that out in Arizona. Part of it was online, part of it had to be there.
Right.
Right. So it started from that, and from that kinesiology degree, we had a sports science, a sport conditioning specialization.
Yeah.
So from that, obviously, you're going on, you're getting more opportunities. But then I did that in somewhere around 2010. Yeah. And then I did my performance coaching. That was more performance science.
Yeah.
Later on, I mean 10 years later, right? Because things change, right?
Yes. So I had the question I had. So you've had a lot of experience before getting education, right? So you did kinesiology, right? Then you did performance coaching, and now you're doing the rehab and that kind of thing, right?
Well, not rehab. The sport injury, I could
Yes, go ahead.
I could explain
Yes, go ahead.
what that is, right? So sport injuries and return to performance management is really me, how I fit in to the interdisciplinary team of medical and then the rehab, right?
Yep.
How I support them, right? So where do I fit in there? I fit in there where once they are almost ready, or even when they're not even fully ready to go back onto the pitch, I am supporting them with the strength and conditioning principles to get them fit while they're still doing their rehab.
Yes.
And then from that, as they transition Now I have to do my testing, right? And obviously we use a criteria-based approach rather than time-based, right? So what is the criteria for this athlete or this person to get them back to training and then to performance? So it's obviously stages, right? So that is what
I'm glad that you clarified that.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask was, what is one takeaway from each degree that you've done that you did not know prior to doing it?
Oh God.
So let's start with the kinesiology. Is they did your master in kinesiology first. What is one thing you learned there that was like, ways by doing this for so long? I really didn't know this.
Well, the good thing is I was fresh with the kinesiology part of it. I was still more or less a newbie. You know, when it come into the personal training and whatever. I was still a newbie. I mean, I was doing good stuff, you know. I mean, and making mistakes, like, you know, we make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, right? So you're making your mistakes, you're learning from it, whatever. But with the kinesiology part of it, the human movement side, that for me, you know, if you look at the performance, like the performance side of sports science, that is one of the most critical things. And I'll tell you why.
Yes.
If the body is not moving well, it will cost more to move. Yes. Right? And if it costs more to move, and we have altered mechanics based on, you know, things that are weak and overused, whatever, it's gonna have injury. So why am I going to do a jump test and speed test and get these numbers? These numbers mean nothing if you're not moving well. Right? So having a foundation of movement and understanding biomechanical principles and all these things, right? That for me is a game changer.
Yes, I agree.
And that's where we're missing it right now.
And you know, I'm glad that you brought that up, because what I see a lot is there isn't the emphasis on that, but what happens is athletes will do things biomechanically wrong, get injured, and then they go by a massage therapist, and then, or they go by a chiropractor, and they always seeing the massage therapist monthly, whatever, when the problems could be fixed if you just move properly. But they I guess there's maybe a lack of knowledge, a lack of education, and that's why they go down the paths that they do.
Well, they don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I think what they're searching for is pain relief.
Yes.
Not a permanent solution to the problem.
Yeah. Or they I guess there's some, because there's the running thing of, oh, like once you're playing sports and whatever, you're going to get injured. So they kind of, some people already make up their minds that, well, they just what it is, they're just part of it. But it does not have to be that way.
No,
if you have,
yeah.
Right? So that's the kinesiology. The next step would be the performance coaching.
Performance coaching. That for me was really the performance side. Is more focused on that performance science, testing, evaluating, looking at force velocity profiles, all these little different,
all the beautiful things,
cool stuff that means nothing
if you
don't have the background, right?
Correct.
So
correct. Let's clarify. This is not for everybody.
So you have to have some level of understanding with that.
Yes.
And I felt I had enough understanding of that to move on to something else. And again, I did performance coaching masters when it was COVID. I started that when it was COVID. I was actually in the CPL at that point in time.
Oh, cool.
And then one of the guys from the other team mentioned he was doing his bachelor's with one of the I mean, he was doing it with that particular school. And I said, let me go and check it out. And I saw the performance coaching masters, and I was like, oh, I think I need to do this. Right? It's just because there's a feeling I need to do more. Right? And I was so happy I did it, because it was stuff that you implemented immediately with the athletes. And you were seeing, obviously, from the measurement standpoint, and then the implementation, and then the results you're getting. It was cool. So in terms of getting a little deeper into the science part, the performance science part, that was a eye opener for me.
Lovely. And then now with the last thing that you're doing, right?
Right.
What is one?
But I don't know if it's the last, but
well, no.
For now.
No, but I think it's beautiful, and it's very how to put it. I'm very happy to see that you have the mindset that you do. Because when sometimes people at your stage who've invested 2 decades into the craft, they get to a point where it's like, boy, I have enough experience, I know what I do, and I have so much success. I them thing whatever. But you have the reverse approach where you continue to learn.
Yeah.
And that is very, very admirable. And I really hope that others adopt that approach.
I really hope so too. For the betterment of the country and the country sport. Yeah, and I hope enough administrators see this interview, because this is for them too. They need to understand how important it is for the athletes to improve, and for the country to be well represented.
Yes.
When we compete.
Yes. Yes. So let's talk about tangibly what what is the value of implementing technology with the proper human resources to the football team, the cricket team, tangibly, what can they gain?
Well, first off, they'll gain information immediately. They'll gain information about how the athlete moves, how their performances, where their shortcomings are regarding their physical performance for the sport, right? And then obviously making decisions around improving those things will improve performance. Is a no-brainer. I'm making it sound simple, right?
Yeah.
But it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, people are viewing strength and conditioning. They're viewing this as I'm talking from the administrator standpoint, something that we need to just put in there.
Yeah.
Right? Administrators viewing it as something we just need to
just put that there. They need to fill that spot, check that spot.
Check that spot, and the value that they put in on it.
Yes.
It's like,
yes.
No. So when people come to me, people have gotten requests, whatever, and I say, look, hey, this is what it's gonna cost. So much.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised what it will cost outside.
Yep.
Right? But they don't understand the value, right? And what devalues this is when we have people who are sorry to say, they are pretending to be what they are not, taking up opportunities and jobs that they're not qualified for. And they're willing to accept pittance to do the job. When you have qualified you have other professionals out here too, not only me. And we have good people. We have just had about 20, I don't know, I can't remember how much from Trinidad, but did the UKSA strength and conditioning certification.
Yeah, the CSCS equivalent.
The CSCS equivalent,
yes,
right?
Yes.
We had about 20 something do across the Caribbean. We had at least about 8 from Trinidad or something like that. Some number like that. But we have people, right, that can help. But do they really want to pay them or pay us?
Yeah. And I think what happens is the barrier to entry to be a trainer, right, is so low.
It's low.
You could just do a online course. You don't even need to necessarily study. You could get all the answers on Quizlet or whatever, and then boom, you in a gym, you training people. And the other thing is, in this industry, I do think it is important, but it is not the be all and end all. Once you're looking good physically, people are like, ah, yeah, you strong, you could come and train. And because you look good does not mean that you are competent at what you're doing.
No, it certainly does not. I was like, yeah, a big misnomer.
Yeah. There was something. Right. So, cricket West Indies. How did that come about?
How did that come about? Actually, at that point, Jimmy Adams, very forward-thinking man in terms of where he wanted to see cricket. He was director of cricket at that time. I think they wanted to start doing performance testing across the region to maintain certain standards, right? Certain criteria, certain standards for performance, for selection. And they reached out through one of the other guys, the lead person, lead tester. They reached out and we formed a team, and we went around the islands in the different territories.
Right. Yeah.
Testing these athletes, getting the data on them. That was the aim.
Right.
Get the data and present the data to the franchises.
Also, you collected it for Cricket West Indies and presented it to the CPL teams, or
No, the CPL, the franchises as in Guyana, Trinidad.
Okay.
Right. So we
Yeah.
work to support.
Yeah.
This is what it means. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
right? And then from there, I started doing work with teams. So the first team I worked with was the A team, which is the reserve to the senior teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on reserve team. I did some work with the senior team. I did most of my work with the under 19s, which I really, really enjoyed because obviously is still developing athletes.
Yeah, you get to mentor them to the.
Yeah, really good bunch of guys.
Yeah.
So and I went how much? I think it's 2 or 3 World Cups with them. 2 World Cups, sorry, 2 World Cups. Yeah, so that's and then
What was the when you did the testing? What was the reception like to the results from the
Players?
bodies? Well, the players won, yes, and then when you presented it to like the cricket boards of these individual countries, did you? Yes, they received it, but do you think they understood and really were eager to implement, or just like, well, this man just doesn't really mean?
I don't think. I mean, new stuff. You know what I mean? It's new stuff. I think there was a bit of resistance to it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, new stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And honestly, that is where professional approaches come in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We understood there would be resistance. We understood this is the situation, but it was up to us to indicate or to educate why this is important, and eventually,
Yeah.
yeah, it worked. I mean, we never had any problems across the region with anybody. You know what I mean? We sat with the coaches and we give the information.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, my time at with West Indies, I mean, I ain't saying that just to
Yeah.
you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
I had some really good moments with meeting really good people.
That's great.
Yeah.
And from the players' standpoint, what was there?
Players, good, good. Again, is listen, in every you're not gonna be favorite for everybody, right? But in every team that you work in, you really have a limited amount of time to gain the trust.
Yeah.
You're like, I ain't talking about a day, I'm talking about mere minutes to gain the trust.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and there's that immediate time, and then you have over time they will gain more trust, right? But your interactions with them, how you have to be a human as well. They are human. You have to treat with them as a human being, right? Where the challenges are they lazy, or are they not motivated to do certain things? What do you like to do? Not everybody like to run.
Yeah.
Right? But we had to find ways now we could help get our person fit without having to do this. What do you like to do? Ask the questions, and just being a little more personable. I think that was one of my strong points. A little more personable. And then, yeah, I had no problem with any of the athletes.
What is I guess, if you want to call a name, who is I guess, the most known or most successful athlete that you've ever worked with?
Gosh, so you like the fact that I mentioned, but I'm doing
Bravo?
yeah. He's been working with me for years and years. And even when he was coming down to the latter part of his playing career, he would still be in here training.
Yeah.
Because he's excellent, right?
Yeah.
He does not want to go there and play without being ready. All right, so
have you seen a shift in him, personality-wise or otherwise, from going from player to coach?
No, same person, same winning mentality.
Yeah.
Same winning. They just won the what do you call it? The Major League Cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So congrats, Dwayne.
Congrats to Dwayne. Yeah, congrats to Dwayne. Yeah. I guess final in closing, what takeaway or give me 5 things, right? If possible, right? If you get to 5, that's totally okay. But 5 things that you think athletes neglect or underestimate the importance of when it comes to their athletic performance.
One, the other 22 to 23 hours of the day, which requires them to eat well, sleep well, and manage their bodies. I think they get that wrong. They think after a training session, it's okay to go and do whatever, eat whatever, because I train hard, but the real changes happen and adaptations happen during the rest.
Correct.
And the fueling.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's one. Another one. Training hard and not smart.
Go ahead.
All right. So let's say you think, social media is ripe for these messages where, go hard or go home, no days off. Yeah. All that's really BS. Right?
Yeah.
So, and again, it goes back to the same point in the earlies, right? How you manage your body. Training smart means working hard, recover.
Yes.
Work hard again, recover, work hard again. Or work hard. Different qualities you're gonna work hard, right?
Yes.
You can't work the same quality the next day hard.
Yes.
Different qualities hard, then I take a break. Come back, work it up, take a break. And that's how we go. So working hard, not just working hard, but working smart.
Yeah. So you said something there which is very important for the 14, 15, 16-year-old boys in the gym, because most of the time young men, they come into the gym, I want to max out, I want to lift heavy, and oftentimes they come in and lifting heavy every single day and they realize I'm not progressing. As a matter of fact, they might start to regress, right?
Or get hurt.
Or get hurt, right? Simply, if you are to advise these young men on how they should structure their training to see progress, what would you say?
I would say seek out somebody who is qualified to help you. And social media, so Instagram and YouTube, no, it's just not the right thing. So a 14-year-old, and this comes down to maturation. I don't want to stay too long on that, but every 14-year-old is different. Every 15-year-old is different. Every 12-year-old is different. So you can have a 12-year-old ready to lift weights.
Yeah.
But then you may have a 14-year-old not ready to lift weights until he's 16.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And when I say not ready to lift weights, we have 9-year-old and 10-year-olds in here.
Foundation.
That they lift weights.
Nothing ridiculous, nothing heavy, but
pick up a 10 pound or something. Goblet squat with it. They feel good about the lifting weights. But it's more about the experience and being in a training environment that is more important than the weight that they're lifting.
Yes.
Right? So I've had a Seale, I can call his name, Seale Dalla Costa, one of the top tennis players, 17 years old now. He's in here since 9 years old. Before common entrance, he was in here. Wow. He's still here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because you keep them healthy, you keep them strong. Yeah.
But no 17-year-old his age could beat him now. He has to play with men.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that, it's just a progression. Yeah. Right? Progression. And being in the environment, I do not have to tell him to work hard.
Yeah.
It's all inside.
Yeah.
He will come here and you'll put in his work.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing for Jordan. That's Jordan Duki. She's another tennis player. They come and they just put in your work.
Yeah.
Right? That's how they operate. But they've been in here long enough to understand what the culture is in here. I don't have to tell you to work hard. Some people, if I have to tell people to work hard, they don't belong here.
Simple as that.
There's not a place
for you. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, if you are in,
I won't tell them to leave.
No, but yeah.
I try to help them, of course, but we know,
that person ain't gonna last long. Then
no, not gonna last.
Yeah.
Not gonna last.
Yeah. So you give me two things, give me a third one, and we just call it.
What athletes get wrong? Prioritizing what's important, party over performance.
Is that a like a common thing, or is it just, it really depends on the person?
Man, I really want to say it's common, but I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
So
we've been trying that. Yeah.
But we this is something I always battle with. If I see my young athletes or any young athlete I working with promoting free drinks party and whatever, I'll be like, well, okay, maybe you're posting it for
your friends or whatever
friend,
to help.
well,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
no
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
But when you're on the committee and you're an athlete, it kind of sends mixed signals. Now, nothing is wrong with young people going and having a party.
Yeah.
Nothing is wrong with that, right? So it's just the timing. But if I have a game tomorrow, why am I partying the night before? That is my problem.
Do you see that? I mean, with the young athletes, I'm sure you'd see it. But for the more professional athletes, do you see that, or they tend to be?
No. The ones who dial in, nah, I don't see that.
Okay.
Nah, they're taking their stuff
seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the most I have to chat about with people is getting off that phone.
Yes. Could you?
And that is it too. Getting off that phone.
So could you talk about like I gotta talk about that because I want you to be a little bit more specific in terms of like the neurotransmitters and that kind of thing involved when it comes to phones and training and how that affects training.
Well, number one, the blue light that emanates from the phone. What happens there? It is basically it's gonna shift the hormonal responses in your body, right? So the melatonin that's supposed to be secreted from your brain to the body to tell us, all right, it's time to relax. That is actually suppressed. So when that is suppressed now, what happens? You feel awake because it's bright light in your face.
Yep.
You feel awake and you're going, and what tends to happen is that 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you're up, TikTok, this, whatever. And then you have training the next day, right? So it's a bit of a challenge, but also what the research is also showing is that when you're going through your puberty, your adolescent stage, whatever, your circadian rhythm shifts somewhat, right? So it's harder for them to go to bed earlier, right? So there's something we gotta be mindful of when we saying, hey, wake up 6 o'clock in the morning to train or wherever. And when you come in, you're just
they're still asleep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what quality of session you may get out of that may not be top quality, but so these are the things that we are concerned about. But the phone is one of the biggest distractors when it comes to an athlete who is budding to be, elite.
Yeah. Would you prefer to have a subpar session? When you mean a subpar session, the athlete they didn't really eat properly, or maybe they didn't sleep well the night before. Do you prefer for them to have a come and train on that session, or you tell them, nah, take the day off and actually gather yourself and come back? What do you think?
Usually, an athlete who has had poor sleep could still strength train.
Right.
You can still strength train, but one thing I won't do is fitness training, any kind of metabolic stuff, high intensity. No, that's just gonna drive a deeper hole for the athlete. So come in, low intensity strength work. I mean, the athlete just show up. I want to train. I ain't feeling 100%. But if you have 50%, give me 100 or 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll take you 50, but we'll do some lifts, whatever. Low volume, not high intensity lifts. All depends on how the athlete feeling going through the session. But I wouldn't drive him to the ground. You know what I mean? It's not productive. You know what I mean?
I love that gloveness. But we're gonna end it off there.
Yeah.
Mr. Seals, thank you so much again for doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be another episode of Dungeon Talks. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Later.